On this edition of Commuter Connections, we'll take you to Maryland's Sports Legends Museum. Spring is in the air and Orioles baseball can't be far off. How the museum is getting ready for another season of O's baseball and the MTA's game plan for getting you to Oriole Park for all the action. We'll also show you how the makeover is going at the Mark Halethorpe station and your questions about MTA service. It's all ahead on Commuter Connections. I'm Terry Owens. Welcome to MTA Commuter Connections. For this edition of the program, we're at Maryland's Sports Legends Museum at Camden Yards in Baltimore, where sports past and present come together. The museum, which is only a baseball throw from Oriole Park, houses some of the most interesting displays and exhibits on sports in our region. And like everyone else, the folks here are looking forward to the upcoming baseball season. It is a sight that die-hard Orioles fans look forward to every year, the start of spring training. With the players back on the field in Florida, it won't be long before Orioles fans are flocking to Camden Yards. And that's because the 2012 season was a season to remember for the Birds, one that reignited the city's passion for the orange and black, and one that came out of left field for many fans. When the umpire yelled play ball to start last season, few imagined what would transpire over the next 162 games. The buckle-up 2012 O's fighting for a playoff spot and division crown to the bitter end of a long season, finishing with a 93-69 record, good for second place in the American League East and one of the 2 American League wildcard spots. It was a season where the team won a wildcard playoff game and took the dreaded Yankees to Game 5 in the division series. That excitement carried right into the Ravens Super Bowl championship season and has Oriole fans thinking twofer. Can the Birds make it to the World Series in 2013? Fans are optimistic and looking forward to another season to remember. Museum Director Mike Gibbons joins us to talk about the upcoming season and what you'll find on a visit here. Mike, so good to see you.
Hey, Terry, welcome down to Sports Legends. Great to have you here, and I love your suit, by the way.
Hey, with the Ravens winning a championship and the baseball season now upon us, everybody is saying, can the Orioles bring home a championship of their own?
Yeah, it's really an exciting place to be in Baltimore right now, to be a sports fan here. We haven't seen anything like this in a long, long time, since back in the early 70s when the Colts and the Orioles were champs. Yeah. So this is pretty unique, untested territory for us. I'm feeling pretty good about the Orioles season. I think they can go a long way into the playoffs.
So now what are you guys doing to get ready for the season?
Well, we're getting ready with a 2012 Orioles exhibit where we'll be featuring some memorabilia from last season. Okay. You know, Chris Davis, he is a first baseman, DH, outfield guy. He goes in to pitch you know, in an extra inning game and is the winning pitcher. We have his shoes that he wore that day, so that's kind of fun. And we also have 3 bats used by Flaherty, J.J. Hardy, and Markakis. They were the first 3 batters in a game back in May against Texas. Boom, boom, boom. They all hit home runs back to back to back, so they're on display. There'll be a lot of other stuff too, so we're pretty excited about this exhibit. That's
awesome. Give us a sense of what it's like around here when the Orioles are winning and the Ravens are winning.
Well, I'll tell you what, this past September, when the Orioles were challenging for the playoffs, they were making the big run, our attendance went up 83% over the previous 83%. September. So it definitely does impact when more people are swirling around Camden Yards. A lot of them come in here to catch up on the Orioles history, also the Ravens history and the history of the state of Maryland sports. So all that's good. They definitely have an impact when the teams are playing better.
So give us a sense. There are some people who are watching this program that perhaps have not been to the museum, don't have a full appreciation for all you guys have to offer here. Give us a sense of what folks can expect to find on a visit.
Well, it's really kind of like a de facto State Sports Museum, so that we feature everything from the Orioles and the Ravens and the old Baltimore Colts. Johnny U is here, but also Michael Phelps, Carmelo Anthony. So you've got the Preakness, anything to do with Maryland sports.
Well, anybody that knows anything about you knows this has been your baby for years. Talk a little bit about the evolution and how all of this came into being.
Well, it started way back at the Babe Ruth birthplace 30 years ago when I was younger than you, I think, if you know what I mean. But we featured Babe Ruth. But then we went to the Orioles and said, can we be your museum? Can we represent you? And they were kind enough to say yes. Then the Baltimore Colts left town. William Donald Schaefer was the mayor of Baltimore. He was able to get the Baltimore Colts archives back from Indianapolis. And he called me one day and he said, Gibbons, I've got it in a Mayflower van right out in front of City Hall. Make sure everything came home. And he appointed us to be the official Baltimore Colts archives. And it kind of has been mushrooming ever since. So we took on more and more themes, more and more collectibles from the different sports we represented. And around 2000, maybe even a little earlier, we started looking for an expansion site, and it turned out to be this building, Camden Station, the historic train station of the B&O Railroad, and we have converted that into Sports Legends Museum at Camden Yards.
And one of the things we love about it is that it is so easily accessible through public transit.
Oh my gosh, the tracks are right outside the door. This is a really nice central location so that you've got light rail coming through here, certainly a lot of bus routes to get over here to Camden Yards. And people know how to do that because they come to the ball games. So, you know, it's convenient, just a couple of steps away, and, you know, very doable for people. So, you know, come on down and visit us and take in a day at Camden Yards while you're at it.
I was going to say, for folks who may be coming down to a game this season, perhaps haven't been here before, they could catch the light rail or the Metro subway down. What are the hours here for folks who want to get in and make sure they don't miss any of the action?
Well, on game days, we're open 10 to 7. So a lot of fans will come down a couple hours early, take in the museum, maybe even go over to the Babe Ruth birthplace, which is just 2 blocks away, and then come on over to the ball game. On non-game days, we're open 10 to 5. So lots of opportunities, and we're open every day, you know, from April through October, so for all of the sports season.
And for folks who have not been here yet, why do they absolutely need to get to the Sports Legends?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, Terry, we have the real deal of local sports. So when you come here, you'll see Super Bowl trophies, World Series trophies, the items that we're talking about from the 2012 Orioles, and I expect a nice smattering of memorabilia to be coming in from the Ravens World Championship season as well. So lots of good stuff here, championship rings. Carmelo Anthony walked in here one day and just kind of brought us his stuff, including his national championship ring from when he was at Syracuse. So it's like you can see all of these things right here. And you know, right here behind us, Cal Ripken, 2131, right here in the building with Johnny U, with Michael Phelps. They're all under one roof.
All right. Mike Gibbons doing a tremendous job here at the Sports Legends Museum. Thank you so much for opening your doors to us.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Good to see you.
Of course, the MTA is ready to get you to Oriole Park for America's favorite pastime. And joining us now with a look at the various options available for travel to Oriole Park at Camden Yards this season is MTA Director of Rail Service, Jason Lurz. Jason, you've just come off an amazing season with the Ravens, getting people to and from that. And now you turn around and it's Orioles baseball on top of you. How do you guys do it?
Oh, if last year was any kind of indication of what the O's are going to do this year, I think we have our work cut out for us. So we're expecting increased ridership at the Camden Yards. So we're ready, just like we were last year. We're ready every year for the Orioles to win the World Series. So
and the employees get just as fired up around this stuff as anybody else, don't they?
Yes, they do. Like I said, they wear the Oriole hats, the jerseys, just like they do with the Ravens, and we encourage them to show home pride. So they enjoy it just as much as the fans, because they are fans.
Now, for people who or, you know, a lot of people have moved away from the Orioles, are coming back this season, and we saw some of that, who may not be familiar with the service and taking advantage of public transit. What are some of the best options for people who want to come to a game?
Well, if you don't want to mess around with the city traffic, you can always use MTA or public service. You know, taking the light rail, you can get on. It goes from Hunt Valley down to BWI. Some of the popular locations are up in the Towson area to get onto our park and rides, parking lots. Takes you down to either the convention center, where you can get off of the train and get into the Camden Yards, or go down to the Camden station, where you can do the same. So, and the Metro subway system, you can get on that. It goes from Owings Mills to Johns Hopkins. You have a little bit of a walk, so I'd recommend that you take light rail. But service runs for Metro every 8 to 10 minutes, and for light rail every 10 to about 20 minutes. But during the ending of the game, we always stage light rail trains near Camden Yards, so that way we can quickly get the fans back to their houses.
Okay. We hear from time to time people saying that things don't move as quickly as they might like getting out of the stations. What do you tell people about how this service works and what they need to know going in?
Well, when you have tens of thousands of people leaving at one time, it's kind of hard to fit them on a train that can only fit, you know, around 500. So that's why we have trains stationed here and there to be able to quickly get the fans on the trains and get them to where they're going, either north or south.
Yeah, it's a wonderful option for people, as you said, who may not want to drive into downtown. It gives them a chance to come down a little early. They can check out the museum or something like that, maybe grab a bite to eat, enjoy the game, and then have a little patience as they're leaving the game to give us a chance to get all the people off the platform and get them to where they're going. Now, for folks who are going to be using the system this year, is there anything new that passengers can expect to see, say, on the light rail platforms?
Other than the digital signage and the PA announcements, this way we can better communicate with our riderships. We can advise them when the trains are coming, when the next train is leaving, if we have delays. It also has the LED signage, so we can display it as well. And also we have enhanced security. We have security cameras, which we remotely monitor from our monitoring facility, police monitoring facility, to better provide security to our ridership.
How big a deal were those new PA LED hookups for you?
A huge deal. It was a public outcry for better communication and notification. We can do so much with e-media. However, with this, it's real time. It's right there. They can communicate as it happens. 10-minute delay, trains coming in 30 seconds. You know, next northbound train is going to be taken out of service. So it's more of a better ride for our public.
Okay. For folks who are planning to use the service this year, they should then think about perhaps giving themselves ample time to come to, you know, if you're going to a game, do you wait till, you know, an hour before the game starts to head out? What should people know about using public transit that they may not factor in?
Well, all part of coming to the game is enjoying the game. It's not like you go to a movie and you go there right away, so that way you don't have to wait. It's all part of the experience, the element. So you want to get here early, get the magic and the fever going, and that way you don't get headaches from the traffic and the congestion. So the other thing is at the end of the games, if it takes a little bit longer or extra innings for the Orioles to beat up on whoever dares play against us, we stay open for an hour after the last out. So this way, if the game goes into long extra innings, people can still know that we're going to take care of them. We're going to get home.
Fantastic. And we heard about that last season. What wasn't one of the teams down the road? The system wasn't going to operate and
stop service, left people stranded. That's not how we operate.
Yeah, good. Well, Jason, thank you so much for coming in and letting us know what people can look forward to this season. Those new LAPED systems are up and ready to go with all the kinds of information you need about how the traffic is moving, and enjoy your games, enjoy public transit getting you to and from those games. All right. Coming up next, a look at locally operated transit systems around the state, what they are and how they are benefiting your community. Stay with us. There's much more ahead on Commuter Connections.